Despite the amount of housing, Devizes is much more than a mere dormitory town. It has a truly fascinating history, enjoys a wealth of interesting buildings, and is surrounded by some of the best countryside Wiltshire can offer. And its central position means that for hundreds of years it's been a focal point for those visiting the surrounding area.
For instance, you're probably, an hour from Salisbury, Bath, Swindon. That's going by the bus. But you'd probably get there a lot quicker driving, probably, 40 minutes or so. So it couldn't be better.
I go to the Bear quite often for coffee. I've had people come in who come down from Swindon. They come over from Trowbridge because they like the centre of the town. It has a sort of a community atmosphere. That is my main joy of Devizes, I think. It's this lovely feeling of a community where you can walk down the Briticks and talk to people, and people sort of just say good morning, hello, and it's lovely, I think.
I would recommend, if anybody wanted to find a nice place to live, I would say come to Devizes. And within a very short time, in walking, because we didn't have cars when we were young, you could walk to lovely places. You could walk up Quakers Walk. You could walk to Roundway Hill. You could walk for miles beside the canal. You see, it's got such a lot to offer. Not to speak of the brewery and 6 eggs.
Although there is evidence of Roman occupation nearby, Devizes is one of the youngest settlements in Wiltshire. The popularity of the Devizes area goes back to Saxon interest in Pottern, which then, with its pre-conquest church, would have been a significant centre of population. Despite there being no mention of the town in Domesday Book, the area caught the attention of the Normans. From then onwards, several bishops of Salisbury built castles on a spur of upper greensand, its steep sides offering a defensive vantage point over the surrounding countryside. The castle gave Devizes its name and eventual street pattern, and ultimately its very existence.
I think it's very strange, really, because I think Devizes grows on you in a way. You know, you get used to it, and the architecture is so beautiful. There's wonderful buildings, and it's got a sort of special atmosphere because of the street pattern and all the history and so on. There's a lot to learn about the town. It is a fascinating place.
The quirky things about Devizes, like the Briticks, that was the one entrance to the castle way, way back. I mean, the castle, unfortunately, we know it's Victorian and you can't go and see, but it's been there since, 1100, when Stephen and Matilda were battling over it. There's so much history about Devizes.
The castle, known in medieval Latin as Castrum ad Divisas, the castle at the boundaries, was served by a planned town, lying outside its eastern defences and protected, like the castle, by 2 great ditches. Because of the lie of the land, this has given Devizes its semicircular street pattern, one of the best preserved in the country. The castle, which featured in the 12th century Civil War, was described by medieval chroniclers as the finest and most splendid in the whole of Europe. It later became a royal castle, often visited by kings and queens of England. Gradually, however, the town became more important than the castle, attracting traders and craftsmen and developing as a market for the surrounding area after Matilda's charter was granted in 1141. The position of Devizes, in the middle of sheep downland and cattle pasture, made it a natural centre for the wool and leather trades, and its height of nearly 500 feet above sea level gave it a healthy, bracing climate and freedom from flooding.